This is F. Allen coming to you from Metro Detroit, where we're dumb, lazy, happy, and rich. Welcome to the second day of the vlog, and today we're bringing along my co-host and friend Carter Hill.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
He doesn't want to be seen on TV or on this vlog. So
I have a face made for radio.
yes, he does. Looking directly at him, I can definitely agree with that. Okay, so we're going to start today off with the local headlines that you may or may not know about. Detroit, are we rich, lazy, dumb,
And happy.
and happy? And can you be lazy and dumb and rich and happy? Well, apparently Kevin Orr thinks so. He actually said that in the Washington, what was it, the Washington Journal?
It was some national media.
In the Wall Street Journal. He said it was quoted. We picked it up off the newscast, and I don't know. It's got us feeling a certain kind of way. But initially, Carter, I mean, you're not from here. You're kind of like Kevin Orr, so.
I'm kind of like Kevin Orr.
As in, like, you're not from here, but you're here because of the love of the city.
Right. I don't think Kevin Orr is getting any love from the city right about now.
Oh yeah, but and you're just bathing in it.
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay, but what is your opinion on that statement?
Well, I think it's just more proof that Kevin Orr was a hired gun brought in to do a job in the city, and he doesn't have any real care or love for the city. He's just here to slash and burn and run us through bankruptcy and rob us of whatever assets remain and get his paycheck and go home.
You think he's really in it to get his paycheck and go home? You don't
I think that's the only reason he's in it.
You don't think the reason might be that he's got like it's some resume? It's a resume issue too. I mean, I remember.
Well, yeah. It builds his resume so he can get more money from the next city that goes bankrupt. Because on the heels of this, Detroit isn't the only major city that's going to have to go through bankruptcy. There are a lot of other cities waiting. And if Kevin Orr somehow establishes himself as the go-to guy, then he gets to be the first in line when all of these other cities have to go through bankruptcy too.
Okay, so but I remember him specifically saying that if he can do this, it will be the largest turnaround in the country's history. So, do you think it's more of a business situation that he has, or do you think it's because he does have roots here in Detroit? Do you think it might be that, or roots in Michigan?
No, I think that Kevin Orr is a bankruptcy attorney, and every bankruptcy attorney, just like anybody in any field, wants to conquer whatever the next plateau is. So, doing a bankruptcy for a major city. Because a bankruptcy is not always a turnaround. Sometimes a bankruptcy is a rollover and do it, and I'll just close my eyes and until you're finished. I don't think. I think he's just reaching for the next rung on his individual career ladder.
Okay, so enough about him. What about the statement? Dumb, happy, rich, lazy.
Well, I think that there is a certain mentality in Detroit that might lead somebody to think that, but
so you think that's a fair assessment?
No, I don't think
in ignorance.
I don't think it's a fair assessment. I think that the mentality of Detroiters has to change. Obviously, the days of a city just rife with auto money are past, and they won't be back again anytime soon. No matter if we can manage to diversify the manufacturing stream in the city, the days of strip clubs reigning from auto money are over.
So yes or no? Do you agree with that statement?
No.
Okay, that's Carter's opinion. We'd like to hear yours. Give us an email and let us know what you think about that topic.
This is Carter Hill reminding you that Tuesday is election day in Detroit. It's the primary election. And for those of you who have been living under a rock for the last few months, this happens to be a pretty hotly contested election where we are going to elect candidates for mayor in the city. So, Alan, the build-up to this uh, election has been pretty hot. A lot of court dates and decisions and lawsuits over the quote unquote outsider who's coming in. But the one thing, even though I've heard people in Detroit talk about that, the guy being an outsider, the one thing that I've heard them talk about is him being white. And so I guess my question to you is, with an election like this on tap, can a bankrupt Detroit afford to be a color-struck Detroit, or does Detroit need to be colorblind this time?
Well, you bring up a conundrum of issues. First issue I have to take up with color struck is not something that you apply to, someone who's white. Color struck is
I
something.
don't know. I grew up in the South where they used to talk about people who felt like the white people's ice was colder. So,
Yeah, but that's not a color struck situation. I mean, color struck happens between black families and other black people and other black people, not between blacks or whites or anything like that. But even though I'm digressing, the real question is, should we be colorblind? And I can't say for sure. I can kind of speak for me. I know who I'm leaning towards.
Who are you leaning toward?
I'm leaning towards Benny Napoleon.
Why?
Because I know him, I've met him. He's been around. Just like he referenced in his advertisements, he hasn't been a part of all the rigmarole that's been going on, even though but he's been privy to it, and he's seen it, and so he knows what parts to cut, and I think he knows what to do as far as the fixing needs to be done. He's never been in a position to do the fixing.
So, in your opinion, if you had to list the pros and cons of Benny Napoleon, give me 3 on each side.
Sure. I can give you the pros first. One is he's sincere about what he's talking about. He's explained every issue that's come up competently, and he's proficient at every job he's had. I can only think of one con from my own personal experience, and I'm not really that political and even that familiar with his entire record. But I can tell you that the only con I didn't like it when he ran on the undercard with Sharon McPhail, and you weren't here then, but I thought that he should have been running for mayor at that point, not deputy mayor or whatever, or something else. He was the running mate.
Okay.
I think he should have reached a little higher, a little faster than what he did. But other than that, I don't really see any.
Okay, so
especially compared to what's been going on.
So let's ask on the other side. List 3 pros and 3 cons for Mike Duggan, not the barber.
Mike Duggan, but I like to. But there's some pros that's come up with Mike Duggan, the barber.
Well, we know he can get his car jacked, so I guess he can really relate to people in Detroit that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what else?
Well, I mean,
and we're not talking about Mike Duggan, the barber. We're talking about Mike Duggan, the not barber.
It's kind of an unfair question to ask me. What are the pros and cons if he's not the person that I'm leaning towards? So that'd be something that you could answer.
No, that would be exactly a fair question, because you're well reasoned and insightful, and you've looked at both candidates objectively. So you've made a decision based on your objective opinion.
Well, then let's not try to find 6 things. Let's just try to find 1 or 2. Because
that's all you gave me for Benny Napoleon. So go ahead.
I asked by way of another radio show. I've asked him a direct question about the first legal situation that he was in, involving being eligible to be on the ballot or not, and the way he dodged the question, saying we've been through it, all this over and over again. My point was pretty concise with what I was trying to get across, but he didn't even want to acknowledge it, and obviously so, because when he was taken to task at the higher court level, he was rejected off the ballot, which I wouldn't want to. I'd have to wait for the judge to say it too. I wouldn't, I guess, nail my own coffin.
Okay, is that a pro or a con?
That would be a con.
Okay, so do you have any pro in his?
Yeah, there's some things I like about him.
Okay, name 2.
He's worked in the city of Detroit for 30 some odd years, and he knows the city of Detroit just like everybody else that's running. Does he care as much? I don't know. Maybe not. That's going to be for the voters to decide. I just think that the fight that Benny had, that the fight that Benny has had to do what he's had to do with the resources that he's had, makes him the better person to correct some of those wrongs.
Okay, so I guess a lot of Detroiters talk about him being an outsider and him not being a Detroiter. As somebody who just moved to Detroit recently, I'm wondering, how long do I have to be here before I get to be a Detroiter?
Oh, a long time. How many people do you know here outside of
I
that
don't know.
cigar
How
bar?
many customers do you have?
You see, if it's only limited to the people that I know, then you're going to be here for a while because I don't know that many people.
Uh-huh. I thought F. Allen knows everybody.
No, no, that's not true. That's just not true.
Okay, so remember, Tuesday is election day. If
Mhm.
Tuesday is inconvenient, I believe you can still vote at the Election Commission on Grand Boulevard on Monday. If you go in, you can vote absentee because you have something really pressing and can't get to your polling station on Tuesday. But it's really important, no matter who you're voting for people in Detroit to actually go out and vote. And then we'll at least prove to Kevin Orr that we're not lazy.
At least. All right, so this is the money segment of the show, and it's, it's very important that we all watch our money and stuff like that. So, with that being said, we're going to turn it back over to Carter Hill with the following question. So, Carter, if you won the Powerball, which this week is $400 million, for the money segment, what would you do?
Well, first off, I have a couple of traffic tickets I need to pay in the city of Southfield. So I would get those taken care of right away. I would still get up and go to work the very next day, at least one day. But I would spend a lot of money fixing up my house, and I might buy some other houses and some other stuff. But it would take me a week to just realize that I actually won $400 million.
There's no question that you'd be rich.
Oh, yeah, I'd be rich.
Right, and then that haze, that may not be just, a haze of whatever. That could just be laziness. So maybe everybody in Detroit won the Powerball, according to Kevin Orr.
Right.
All right, so this last segment is the Instagram post of the day. While at home with my daughter, I was scamming through my Instagram, and I ran across this one. This one comes from Lala Minx Nails, and it says, "So, this man at Panera Bread tried to holler at me, told me I looked just like his ex. He then showed me a pic on his phone of some ugly, bold-ass 28-year-old looking young lady. Straight face. I almost slapped his ass. I just walked away. I just thought that was kind of funny. Caught my attention. Hey, add me at some of your Instagram posts, and if I like them, I'll air them. Carter, what do you think? Speechless?
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys later.